is taken from the lining of the
suitcase. They found that he was in a...
El perro identifica algún olor.
This footage shows Jennifer Talbot, a 43-year-old from Utah, cradling a baby who, according to the Philippines police, she was trying to smuggle out of the country. The baby, just 6 days old, had no travel documents. Talbot had hidden the baby in a sling, successfully clearing immigration without declaring the infant. However, airline staff became suspicious when they noticed the sling wasn't worn correctly, leading to her arrest.
Upright position, but then it was not carried that way. So there was really an intention to conceal and to sneak out the baby.
Talbot was charged with human trafficking and now faces a potential life sentence in the Philippines. Authorities discovered that she met the baby's biological mother, identified as Mary Chris Dulap, online. Dulap claimed she wanted to give the baby up for adoption. Still, both she and the unnamed biological father are now facing human trafficking charges as well.
Police, she wanted to offer her baby up for adoption, but now she is facing charges for human trafficking along with the unnamed biological father.
The baby has been handed over to welfare authorities. Talbot, who has 5 children of her own, is seeking help from the U.S. Embassy, which confirmed she has no criminal history in the U.S. However, this case could take years to resolve, and if convicted, she may spend her life in a Philippine prison.
But this case may take years to resolve. And you guys, if she's convicted, she faces a possible life sentence, which would be served in the Philippines, but it could take years for this to be resolved.
In a similar case, a 5-month-old baby was kidnapped and taken from Karachi to Dubai, hidden inside a carry bag. Luckily, the baby was discovered at Dubai airport and found unharmed. In 2018, a Colombian man stood out at Barcelona airport with an enormous wig that was hard to ignore. He thought he could trick airport security by hiding over a pound of cocaine worth $34,000 beneath his wig. Airport security quickly became suspicious, and then a brief search uncovered the hidden stash of cocaine skillfully concealed under his silly hairstyle.
The man tried to sweep a pound of cocaine under the rug. And by rug, we mean the one on his head, his toupee. Yeah, he stuck out like a sore thumb, so cops quickly arrested.
In 2010, at Suvarnabhumi Airport in Bangkok, a woman traveling to Iran thought she could outsmart airport security by hiding a 3-month-old tiger cub in her luggage. The cub, sedated and placed among stuffed toy tigers, was meant to blend in with the toys. She likely believed no one would notice the difference between the real tiger and the toys, but she was wrong. Airport security grew suspicious because of her suitcase's unusual weight and shape, leading to further inspection. Officers were shocked when they opened the suitcase and found the tiny tiger cub. The woman claimed she had no idea what was in her luggage, but authorities didn't believe her. She was arrested and faced Thailand's tough penalties for wildlife smuggling, which included heavy fines and possible prison time.
Anyone looking through it. The woman was arrested before boarding her flight. The cub, thought to be about 3 months old, has gone to a wildlife conservation centre in Bangkok.
In one of the strangest smuggling attempts ever, TSA agents at Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport found something truly surprising: a handgun hidden inside a raw chicken. On September 27, 2022, a traveler heading to Port-au-Prince, Haiti, thought they could sneak a firearm past security by placing it inside a frozen baking hen. The gun was wrapped in plastic or paper and carefully tucked inside a Kikeri Quirch brand chicken. However, this plan didn't stand a chance against modern security measures. TSA agents quickly discovered the weapon during their routine screening.
Passenger busted for trying to conceal a gun from TSA in a really unsafe and unusual way. TSA posted a picture on Instagram of the weapon inside a raw.
Border Force officers in Brisbane were alerted to the arrival of a U.S. citizen flying in from Los Angeles. He became a person of interest because his previous travel companions had been intercepted in the U.S. with narcotics while trying to leave the country. During questioning, the man seemed nervous and shaky, which concerned officers. He explained that he was supposed to be in Melbourne, but was rerouted to Brisbane. His jittery behavior raised more suspicion. When officers asked if he was feeling okay, he attributed his shakiness to anxiety and stress, claiming he had PTSD. Despite offering him a chair and some comfort, the officers noticed his unusual behavior, prompting them to conduct a more thorough investigation.
So I have PTSD, so it's kind of like, it's good. Everything's good.
Okay. Do you need to take any medication or anything like that?
I haven't taken any, no.
Do you need to take some?
No, I don't.
Sure.
The officers carried out a swab test to check for traces of drugs. When asked if he had ever used drugs, the man admitted to using methamphetamine 3 days prior. This led the officers to ask if he was currently carrying any drugs. At first, he hesitated, but eventually confessed to having drugs on his body, specifically methamphetamine hidden in his crotch area and internally. Realizing the seriousness of the situation, the officers cautioned him and called in the Australian Federal Police. The man's distress grew as the reality of the situation hit him, and he became more upset.
Down in evidence. Do you understand that? Okay. Christopher, the drugs you have on your person, are they on your body? Are they internally? Or okay.
Officers searched his bags, but their primary concern now was the potential health risks of the drugs he was carrying internally. There was a genuine fear that the narcotics could rupture inside him, posing a life-threatening situation. A detector dog confirmed the presence of narcotics, and the man admitted he was carrying approximately 2 ounces of drugs. He claimed they were for personal use and not for distribution. He explained that he had visited Australia to meet a woman online. Still, officers would need to verify this information.
How much do you have?
Ounces.
Ounces? How many ounces? 6.5?
Yeah.
With his health at risk, an ambulance was called, but the man hesitated to consent to a medical examination. Despite his fear and uncertainty, the officers emphasized the urgency of the situation, explaining that the drugs inside him needed to be safely removed to avoid a medical emergency. After much hesitation, he finally agreed to the examination, and the officers handed the case to the Australian Federal Police. The passenger's belongings were seized, and he was taken to the hospital for medical care. Officers were particularly concerned because the drugs had been inside him for over 16 hours. Thankfully, the drugs were recovered, and he was sentenced to 5 years imprisonment.
Because by what we can understand is he actually put it into himself prior to leaving LA, so it's about 16, 17 hours. So they're really keen to get involved.
At Gimhae Airport, a South African woman was detained for attempting to enter South Korea with marijuana. She allegedly fled South Africa on October 12th. She was discovered in possession of 18 kilos of the narcotic, which is prohibited there, according to the authorities. The estimated value of the marijuana is $1.6 million. The individual she meant to sell the drugs to is currently being sought by the prosecution.
From South Africa on October 12th, she was caught smuggling 18 kilograms of the substance that's illegal in the nation. They will be worth around $1.6 million.
Customs officers at Indira Gandhi International Airport in New Delhi detained 2 Indian nationals found with 45 firearms. According to the National Security Guard, a counter-terrorism unit investigating the case, the weapons appear fully functional. The Customs Department intercepted a diplomatic parcel at the UAE consulate in Kerala, discovering gold concealed inside iron pipes.
Show that.
Another child who wanted to enjoy a merry-go-ride got on a baggage belt in Santiago Airport. Luckily for him, he was rescued just before getting to the X-ray sector by vigilant airport workers. At Louis Armstrong International Airport, middle-aged Richard White caused chaos when he pulled wasp spray from his bag and sprayed it at people in line.
Customs officers at Hyderabad Airport got a tip-off about a suspicious passenger arriving from Dubai on flight EK528. What they found was astonishing. Inside the man's luggage was an air compressor, but something felt off. With a closer look, they discovered a silver-coated cylindrical block hidden inside. As they opened it, the gleam of 24-karat gold emerged. The gold, weighing nearly 5 kilograms and valued at over 2 crore and 50 lakh rupees, was skillfully concealed. This cunning attempt to smuggle gold was thwarted thanks to the sharp eyes of Hyderabad Customs, showcasing how smugglers use increasingly clever methods to hide their treasures. Imagine stepping off a plane from Bangkok, only to witness a scene straight out of a thriller. At Chennai International Airport, customs officials stumbled upon a curious passenger. They opened his bags and discovered tiny, wide-eyed marmosets peeking out. As the search continued, a meerkat darted out, followed by a squirming, fat-tailed gerbil. Hidden deeper were the glassy eyes of an albino Pac-Man frog and the shifting hues of a chameleon. But the surprises didn't end there. 2 iguanas lay still at the bottom, each discovery adding to the growing sense of astonishment. This was no ordinary luggage search, it was a wild encounter. At this moment, Delhi customs officers noticed something strange. They got suspicious when they found more than just whiskey in a traveler's bags. Hidden inside were drugs, cocaine mixed with the alcohol bottle. This police dog quickly sniffed out the illegal substances. The traveler was arrested under the NDPS Act. But the story didn't end there. Investigators dug deeper, finding more secrets. What else was hiding, waiting to be found? A Liberian woman arrived from Addis Ababa, unaware that customs officers were watching her. When she picked up her luggage, something caught their attention. She had 11 kurtas with large buttons, which seemed normal at first. However, inside the buttons, the officers found 947 grams of cocaine worth 13 crore 26 lakh, which is amounting to approximately $9,945 million. Their suspicions were confirmed when they opened the last button and discovered the drugs. The woman was arrested on the spot, ending her journey in an unexpected way. This catch is far from ordinary. As a plane from Dubai touches down at Kempe Gowda International Airport, passengers disembark, unaware of the meticulous eyes watching them. Suddenly, Bengaluru Customs zeroes in on one individual. This isn't a random check. It's based on a hunch, a profile. They start their search. Hidden inside knife handles, they find 2 rods. Not just any rods. These are gold, coated in mercury. But there's more. They discover trays with paper stuck to them. It looks ordinary until they realize it's sprayed with gold paste. To their surprise, the total haul was 298.25 grams of gold. Just imagine yourself stepping off a plane, tired from a long flight. You're walking through customs when you notice a passenger with a seemingly ordinary packet of dry fruits. But there's something unusual about this person. Customs officers stop him, and with a careful search, they uncover hidden treasures. 40 pieces of gold, meticulously cut, weighing 254 grams, worth over 15 lakh rupees. But that's not all. There's also an iPhone 14 Pro Max, valued at nearly 1.5 lakh rupees. The tension in the air is palpable as the officers reveal the cleverly disguised loot. What seemed like a regular traveler's snack turns into a thrilling discovery. When an Indian woman just landed on flight AK-053 from Kuala Lumpur, her eyes flicker with worry as she walks through the airport, hidden under her blouse a secret, a big one, worth 17,90,000 rupees, which is approximately a whooping $23,866.67. Security watches her every move, unaware of the 300.95 grams of gold in paste form she's smuggling. She's almost at the exit when suddenly, officers close in. A passenger from Bangkok tried to pass unnoticed through Bengaluru's Green Channel. However, customs officers discovered a shocking secret in his 2 trolley bags, 234 wild animals. Among the wriggling creatures, they found a sad sight, a dead baby kangaroo. The smugglers' plan fell apart at that moment. Kudos to the Bengaluru customs officers for their sharp eyes. They noticed something odd about a passenger's hair kit, but found no clear evidence at first. So, they decided to dig deeper. Through rigorous scanning, they focused on her hair kit, which seemed innocent enough. But the hair kit was covered in ash and beads, hiding its true nature. The officers carefully dismantled the beads and scraped off the paint bit by bit. Finally, they struck gold. Literally, hidden beneath the disguise, the hair kit turned out to be made of gold. Their suspicion had paid off, revealing a clever attempt at smuggling. On August 5, 2023, Hyderabad Customs received a tip-off. They were onto something big. An Indian traveler returning from Dubai was their target. Suspicion grew as officers approached him. Then, a shocking discovery: gold paste hidden inside his underwear. Nearly 1924 grams of it, worth a staggering 1 crore 18 lakh rupees. The smugglers' desperate attempt to conceal the gold added to the intrigue. Just as Hyderabad Customs had cracked another smuggling attempt, but questions lingered. Who else was involved? How did they manage to smuggle gold paste undetected? The mystery deepens as authorities continue their investigation into the daring smuggling operation. On a sunny day in May 2022, customs officers at Trichy Airport, India, noticed something odd about 3 passengers from Dubai and Sharjah. As they went through their luggage, the officers' eyes widened. Hidden inside their laptops were thin gold foils, meticulously concealed. With bated breath, they kept searching and found even more gold, totaling nearly 2 kilograms. Alongside the gold were various electronic goods, altogether worth a staggering $114,526.20. It was a tense moment as the officers made the dramatic capture of all 3 suspects.
On June 21, 2024, 2 passengers preparing to board a Qatar Airways flight to Doha were intercepted at the screening point of Terminal 2, Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos.
My name is Aikomodane AK Oladapo Olarewaju. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90. Total.
One of the suspects excreted 90 packages of illegal substance weighing 1.022 kilograms, while the other passed 60 packages of the same substance, totaling 662 grams.
Your name?
My name is Igoro Wahid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60.
Total, how many?
60.
Customs authorities found more than half a ton of narcotics at Istanbul airport. This 568 kilo of drugs worth 68 million Turkish liras were taken into custody. This video shows a tragic incident from 2021 when an Ecuadorian drug mule, Zambrano Xavier Fernando Lor, tragically died after 2 drug-filled capsules he had swallowed burst inside his stomach. The 45-year-old had just arrived at Istanbul airport from Madrid carrying 400 grams of narcotics. The rupture of the capsules led to severe internal poisoning, resulting in his agonizing death. This video was captured when customs officials at Mumbai International Airport seized 481 grams of gold from a woman who had just arrived from Dubai on December 28, 2020. In this last video, Customs and Border Protection officers were seen preparing to remove drugs that had been tightly packed into 4 tires of an 18-wheeler truck. The substance felt very dense, almost like a brick, indicating there was something inside. The only way to retrieve the drugs was to cut the tires open. This complex process required much effort, so they hoped to open them carefully without damaging the contents.
Wow. It feels like a brick. There's something loose about it. Well, of course, that creates a fair amount of density. Cutting it.
The truck was carrying a hefty 240 pounds of marijuana hidden in its tires. While investigating, CBP officers began to question the driver. He explained that he was just doing his usual routine, checking the oil and water, and planning to make his delivery. He mentioned the name of the company he worked for and shared a bit about his family, saying he had 3 children aged 18, 17, and 10, and his wife worked harder than he did.
On the reality TV show Ultimate Dubai Airport, the airport services manager received a very strange call.
Hello, Mel speaking. Hold on a second. What do you mean live snakes? Where? In her checked-in baggage? All right. I'm on my way. I'm on my way, hun. I'm there. I'm coming down. All right. Bye-bye. I'm following you. This is new for me.
So you discovered today something?
Yes. Oh! Are they eggs? Those are eggs, right?
The scans show the cases are packed with snakes and eggs. These cases are alive. This large case contains a huge snake.
Oh my gosh.
Apparently, a passenger had attempted to smuggle live snakes and eggs, but the plan was foiled when officials saw the content of the baggage during the X-ray scans.
I'm just curious to know, we've got the other baggage that belongs to the same passengers, so I'm just curious to know what's been packed in those bags. Maybe there'll be another surprise, who knows? Oh my gosh. And what's in here? Oh, that's that's upset me, that has.
The cases are full of monkeys, and there are even kittens in there, likely destined to be fed to the snakes.
No, of course not. This has to be declared via customs and everything. We need certificates.
Live animals can only be transported legally with the correct paperwork and in proper containers. And if the animals are an endangered species, the maximum punishment in Dubai is up to 6 months in jail and a fine of over $10,000.
The culprit told the airport staff that the animals were not hers. but the airport services manager handed the case over to the police.
The passengers suggesting that she tried to help another passenger with excess baggage. Ultimately, she checked in those bags. The baggage receipts are under her name. And again, he said if it had been any illegal substances, it's very easy for people to turn around and say, I checked it in for somebody else. So they are going to pursue a case in this.
In Nigeria, tension crackled at the airport. Agents from the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency unearthed a mysterious, unsettling bundle in a traveler's luggage. Nestled among ordinary items were peculiar, indescribable objects alongside traditional soap and sponge. Whispers spread. What were these strange items? The traveler insisted it was African protection magic, not drugs. Authorities, however, weren't convinced. They seized the bundle, leaving one in suspense. What would happen next? The air buzzed with uncertainty, the outcome veiled in mystery. In a bustling airport in Chennai, India, customs officers were in for a spine-chilling surprise. A woman's luggage, arriving from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, held a secret. Hidden within were not 1, not 10, but 22 slithering snakes, each with its own story to tell. As the officers meticulously inspected the bags, the tension mounted. What kind of snakes were they? And what was their intended destination? Among the writhing serpents, a chameleon added to the mystery. The Australian Border Force was in for a surprise during a routine interrogation. A dog handler and his alert canine approached a traveler. The dog barked, signaling something suspicious. The traveler, a woman with her son, insisted they had nothing to declare.
The dog has smelt something in the bag. We're not sure what it is. So the dog handler has asked me to run it through the x-ray, and I can see organic images on the x-ray.
A scan revealed something organic inside a bag, hinting at hidden contents. When officers opened the bag, their suspicions were confirmed. First, they found contaminated food crawling with insects. Then, a black and white jacket concealed a rare bird's nest worth over $3,000.
Anything inside here? This item concealed inside the kettle. There is a lot of organic material in there, lots of freshly cooked food items, and I'm a bit concerned as to why.
Further digging uncovered cordyceps, and shockingly, a whole fish infested with maggots. The travelers were fined $340, narrowly avoiding prosecution.
The consequences can be much more than $340. That could be thousands, even imprisonment. Do you understand?
Yes.
What you did today was very wrong.
Okay.
In this video, a man who officials claimed was a drug addict got so high that he started hallucinating, and a voice in his head told him to rob a plane, so he breached the airport parking bay.
Hi.
Thankfully, he couldn't cause too much damage.
An aircraft marshal stepped in to protect the flight crew after an unhappy group of passengers reacted poorly to an unexpected detour that caused the plane to land at a different airport. The marshal's presence helped ensure the safety and calm of the crew during this tense situation. A man carrying a loaded gun attempted to flee from TSA agents at a New York airport, but his escape was short-lived. A quick-acting security guard swiftly closed in on him and successfully tackled him, ending the pursuit. Newly released body cam footage reveals the arrest of former Syracuse basketball player Brendan Paul, accused of being a drug mule for hip-hop mogul P. Diddy. Paul was taken into custody on Monday at Miami Airport, where officers placed him in handcuffs. He now faces 2 serious felony charges. This arrest follows police raids on Diddy's homes in both Los Angeles and Miami, where authorities were investigating suspected illegal activities. According to reports, Paul was allegedly caught transporting illicit substances, including cocaine and marijuana. Colombian police released footage of when they arrested a 41-year-old Dominican man wanted by Spain under an Interpol red notice. The suspect, who is believed to be the leader of a major drug trafficking organization, was captured at Bogota Airport. His arrest was part of an operation supported by Interpol and the El Pacto 2.0 program, which aims to combat organized crime in Latin America. The man is now facing serious charges related to his alleged role in the drug trade. Colombian authorities worked closely with international agencies to track down and detain him, marking a significant success in their ongoing efforts to tackle drug trafficking networks. Oceanside police have released footage showing how unusual behavior helped uncover drugs on a plane that made an emergency landing on SR-76. Both the passenger and the pilot were taken into custody, and the DEA is now involved in the investigation. In the video, the assistant chief explains the events that led to the discovery of the drugs. The police believe the suspicious actions of those on board prompted them to investigate further, resulting in this significant drug find. This incident highlights the ongoing efforts of law enforcement to combat drug trafficking in the area.
Approximately 1 kilo of suspected cocaine in the backpack that was discarded.
In Nigeria, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency uncovered illegal drugs hidden inside packs of cereal at Murtala Muhammad Airport in Lagos. Still in Nigeria, NDLEA officers discovered heroin and a drug named Loud hidden inside LED lamps.
A passenger at Gatwick Airport showed just how unrelenting he could be after officers detained him on suspicion of having illicit items. The story got intense when the suspect refused to eat for 48 days before finally giving in. On using the toilet, the officers recovered the drugs. On July 25, 2022, a 37-year-old woman, Portia Odufuwa, fired a handgun toward the ceiling near the ticket counter at Dallas Love Field Airport after talking about her troubled marriage and threatening to blow up the airport. Police officers at the scene intervened, shooting her in the lower body. She was hospitalized. and no other injuries were reported. Odufua was charged with aggravated assault.
Odufua has been charged with aggravated assault against a public servant, and other federal charges are possible.
In this video from Atlanta Airport, a woman tried kidnapping another's woman child. Fortunately, passers-by stepped in to help the mother in distress, but the assailant still struggled to take the child until a police officer came and she tried fleeing but was taken down and eventually arrested. Surveillance footage captured the moment Columbus police officer Marco Marino was taken into custody at John Glenn Columbus International Airport. As he hurried through the airport, 3 undercover officers suddenly emerged and apprehended him.
Between March 20th and 22nd, 2024, Mumbai's Airport Commissionerate made an amazing discovery. During routine checks, customs officers found hidden items in check-in bags, hand luggage, sewn into clothes, and even in body cavities. They uncovered foreign currency worth 5.36 crore, diamonds valued at 3.75 crore, and gold totaling 1.49 crore, making the total value 10.60 crore. Each discovery was more surprising than the last, turning a regular inspection into a thrilling treasure hunt. In the heart of Zambia, a mystery was unfolding. At Kenneth Kaunda International Airport, boxes were stacked high, and rumors whispered through the air. All night, people counted, their eyes wide with disbelief. Each new total was more shocking than the last. As dawn approached, the full extent of the seizure became clear, over $25 million. What could explain such a huge find? The airport buzzed with anticipation as secrets slowly revealed themselves. The investigation turned out to be unfruitful, as no one has been found to be linked to it or to come forward and claim responsibility. On October 7, 2023, Hyderabad customs officials made a stunning discovery. 2 passengers arriving from Dubai were intercepted based on profiling. What they found was gold, but not in any usual form. Hidden inside packets of detergent, flour, and oats, 454 grams of powdered gold were cleverly smuggled. The gold, valued at Rs 2664 lakhs, was seized on the spot. The cunning method of mixing gold with everyday items shows the lengths smugglers will go to. The suspense of finding such a high-value item in such an unexpected way highlights the constant vigilance of customs officers. Agents at SeaTac Airport were scanning luggage when they stumbled upon something unexpected. A battered cardboard box, hidden deep within a suitcase, revealed nearly 3 dozen intricately carved figurines, daggers, and tusks. These items weren't ordinary souvenirs. They were made of ivory, a banned material in the U.S. The agents' suspicions had been triggered when a couple claimed they were only bringing back pickled mangoes from the Philippines. A quick X-ray showed otherwise. When the box was opened, agents discovered ivory carvings from elephants, hippopotamuses, and warthogs, worth about $25,000 on the black market. This was SeaTac's largest ivory bust in years, but for the couple it ended with a $500 fine. A whisper in the shadows led Mumbai's customs officers to a mysterious parcel from Belgium. Hidden within the cardboard walls, they discovered 1,459 grams of MDMA, worth a staggering 2 crore and 70 lakh rupees. The officers, blending into the bustling streets in auto rickshaws, spent 2 days tracking their target. On the 3rd day, the trap was set. In the chaos of Vilparla's airport sorting office, the suspect walked right into their net. The daring operation, executed under the NDPS Act, showcased not just the intelligence, but the courage of the Special Cargo Commissionerate. A hidden drama unfolds as Nigeria's drug law enforcement agents make a groundbreaking interception. On the Okene-Lokoja-Abuja Expressway, a routine bus search reveals a staggering $4.8 million and 175 heroin wraps and a huge amount of 57 million CFA in suspected counterfeit cash. But that's just the beginning.
Charles, what do you do for a living? A trader. Where were you traveling to? Paris.
Days later, at the Abuja airport, 2 traffickers are caught with heroin ingested in their bodies. The bust leads to the arrest of notorious drug lords, including Hakeem Babatunde Salami, hiding in South Africa, his luxury cars seized, home sealed. It was found that both arrests led to the same drug trafficking source, as both parties belonged to the same cartel. The notorious drug lord was convicted and sentenced to 2 years, with a fine option on counts 1 and 2, and 8 months without a fine option on counts 3 and 4, due to justice system leaks.
On board a Mexican flight bound for Tijuana, a man took a flight attendant hostage and tried diverting the plane to the U.S.
Del pasillo, por favor.
Fortunately, the passengers bravely rescued the flight attendant and then subdued the assailant. On June 21, 2019, airport cameras caught the moment when a 19-year-old suspect identified as Therese Garner rushed through a security checkpoint and started attacking TSA agents. The reason for his motives remains unknown, but the teenager was arrested and tried on multiple charges. Less than 3 weeks before the 2024 Ghanaian presidential elections, the GRA Customs Division stationed at the Golden Jubilee Terminal in Tema Port intercepted this at the airport.
The number, the quantity that can just go on the table. The rest you can just open the box on the other side. Chief, she said he so push it more so that I can.
That is a lot of ammunition. Who knows what they were planning to do with that? But thankfully, they were able to catch this.
A traveler named Paul finds himself in a tough spot as customs officers discover suspicious packages hidden in his luggage, which are about to be x-rayed. When asked, Paul explains that a friend packed the bag, not him. He mentions placing his clothing on his bed, but his friend hid something at the bottom. The x-ray reveals dense organic material inside the statues in his suitcase, which test positive for traces of cocaine.
You can smell the paint on it, can't you? Where's the concealment? Where did you get the statues from?
Suspicious statues were...
The customs team was sorting through leftover bags that passengers had abandoned when an officer came across a bag filled with coffee beans, but noticed something odd. The coffee looks normal initially, but he finds something unusual. White powder inside the beans when he opens it. Coffee should be brown, not white.
When passengers leave bags, we gotta go through them, make sure there's nothing illegal.
Depending on the day, you can get...
As they continue cutting open more of the beans, they discover that the white substance is present throughout. The officer remains cautious, knowing they must test the material to confirm what it is. After running the test, it came back positive for cocaine hydrochloride, pure cocaine with no other substances mixed in. The officers then weigh the cocaine, and it's a total of 3.51 kilos.
Well, coffee is supposed to be brown, right? Coffee is not.
6 people were detained by the Chennai Airport Customs Department in less than 2 days for trying to smuggle gold and foreign currencies into India. Illegal guns were found concealed inside a speaker that was being transported to Trinidad by CBP authorities. The officers searched and discovered multiple handguns, a magazine holding 30 rounds, and what looked to be a miniature AK-47. Accessories such as grips were also included with the weapons. Although smugglers frequently use false identities, the officers are unsure of the intended receiver, but this was a successful bust.
I appreciate you carrying the heavy stuff. So when it comes to firearms...
At Perth International Airport in Australia, 2 Japanese men were detained while trying to transport 13 bobtail lizards. The 2 males, ages 28 and 51, received prison sentences after being found guilty. Just before the guys boarded separate aircraft, one to Singapore and the other to Kuala Lumpur, Australian Border Force personnel stopped them. The huge lizards were the questionable things that an X-ray of the 51-year-old's bag revealed. It came to light in court that the older man was acting as a courier for the younger man who had gathered the lizards.
On February 7, 2022, authorities were alerted to a handgun found during a TSA checkpoint screening at Key West International Airport in Florida. The firearm was traced to a man who admitted he might have forgotten to take it out of his backpack. To make matters worse, he did not have a concealed carry permit.
All right, run it out. Right here. Your gray bag?
Yep.
There you go. All right.
Got my shoes open?
Yep. Okay. I didn't know if you heard or if you were on your way.
This one?
Oh, I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
The shoes are usually
35 on ramp 1.
Do you have something in that bag that we should know about?
I hope not.
You hope
What
not?
does it look like?
A weapon in that bag?
Oh, fucking hope not. If it is, it's in the front pocket.
Yep.
Yeah.
This one?
It's not. Yep.
Take it in there. Yeah, take it out. Yep.
Stellar.
Come on in.
It was a black Glock 48 9mm handgun with 10 rounds inserted and nothing in the chamber. He admitted to not having a concealed carry permit and that he may have forgotten to remove it from his backpack.
And your ID. Do you have a CCW?
Say again?
Do you have a CCW?
I do not.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
Hello. Hey, need you to come back.
Okay.
Forgot to take my pistol out of my backpack.
Oh. Alright, come on. Alright, I'm on the way.
I'm going to be honest with you, 100% honest with you. You, without having a concealed weapons permit and you having this in this bag.
Yeah, that does not look good at all.
Well, it's not.
Number 11.
Agree.
The culprit was then arrested and charged with misdemeanor second degree and was sentenced to 6 months probation with a $313 fine, 50 hours of community service, and a compulsory firearm course.
It's a little bit bigger than a car, at least.
Yeah.
Andrew was charged with felony third degree carrying a concealed firearm unlicensed. His charge was later amended to misdemeanor second degree, and he entered the plea of no contest. Andrew was ultimately sentenced to 6 months probation, $313 of fees, 50 hours of community service, and a firearm safety course.
The Nigerian NDLEA agency foiled the plans of smugglers in Lagos Airport when they seized a couple of pressure machines. You gotta give them props for creativity. It was a terrifying scene in Miami airport when a man lost his cool.
Wow, he's actually calling people.
Yep.
Wow. Where's the police?
In 2013, a Canadian woman was arrested by Colombian customs officers when she tried smuggling over 4 pounds of controlled substance. The officers reported that they noticed that her fake bump was unusually hard and cold during their routine pat-down. A Colombian priest, Fabio Ricardo Rodriguez, made headlines when he was detained in Sheremetyevo Airport in Moscow.
A Colombian priest has been arrested in Moscow for drug smuggling. Anti-narcotic officers say they detained Fabio Ricardo Rodriguez at the airport because his sickly appearance...
On inspection, the officers noticed that he had digested 13 condoms filled with illegal substance, and his luggage was filled with an extra 5 packages of the same substance that weighed 780 grams.
Nervous behavior made them suspicious. Cocaine-filled condoms were found in his stomach and more of the drug in his luggage.
When interviewed, the priest revealed that a mafia gang had forced him to do what he did, but after being caught, the priest found himself on the verge of serving 10 to 15 years in prison. On July 17, 2020, airport security spotted a couple behaving suspiciously just before it was their turn for inspection, and when officers finally checked their luggage, they discovered this.
It's only one airport, I'm in an airport. It's only one airport. If my brother's car is registered to, I did 9.
He doesn't need to come because we're not going to deal with him at all. Let me get your ID.
I got it right here.
You got it?
Yeah.
So you don't have a CCW permit? You don't have a CCW permit?
It's not. No.
I got it.
The man told the officers that the gun belonged to his brother, but the officers arrested him and he was taken into custody.
Give me 1 second. He does not have a CCW. He's stating it's his brother's. So he's going to get arrested. So I called and I told him, so I got to call him and tell him, can you call for me and just let him know it is and have Sarge come up?
So what's going on?
You're going to get arrested. As you know, you can't come in through here with a gun. What you could do is, when you go to court, you just got to explain to the judge that it wasn't yours and it's his, and he has a CCW, right? Now, does he have a CCW? Yeah, but does he have a CCW? Well, he'll have to prove it and show it. But now you're paying the consequences.
Yeah, that's saw. You didn't have a CCW?
The gun is registered to my brother.
Is it?
I got his traveling.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's
man.
So you wasn't traveling alone then?
No, I was with my girl. I would never have brought a gun.
I know. Trust me. Unfortunately, people bring it sometimes. They forget about it, but. All right, we good? We got everything?
Yeah.
All right, man, you good?
On the reality series Border Patrol, Europe, a routine customs check in Rome airport soon became an open narcotics investigation when a female traveler from Peru could not account for the items in her luggage, saying that they belonged to her friend.
¿Quién te compró el boleto de viaje? ¿Tú? ¿Una amiga? ¿Por qué?
Me regaló.
Es ropa tua.
De mi amiga.
¿Tu amiga te poner esta ropa nella maletta?
Dejé mi maleta a ella.
Quando abbiamo aperto la valigia abbiamo notato una cosa strana, che c'erano dei giubbotti smanicati pesanti, roba invernale. In più aveva molti grembiuli da cucina, all'interno era cucito qualcosa. Aquí en el interior de esto, tú tienes la maleta ropa que no es tu ropa que te regala a otro amigo de ella. ¿Su amigo dónde te espera? Aquí afuera. ¿Dónde?
Me iba a llamar.
Te va a llamar. ¿Tú compraste esto? ¿Quién lo compró esto? ¿Tu amiga?
She has a generous friend, or so it appears.
Aquí está otra ropa. ¿Sabe qué es esta ropa?
A nod across the room. The financial guard are onto the sewn-up pockets. They know what's in.
The lady turns to a mole and leads the officers right to where her culprit was meant to meet her. But after 2 days in the hotel, nobody showed up to pick up the drug, so the lady was arrested for smuggling 10 kilograms of drugs into the country.
The Guardia di Finanza have persuaded a passenger from Peru to make contact with her criminal employer. She's about to make a planned delivery of smuggled cocaine at a city hotel.
Il maggiore ci ha detto, poi magari sentiamo il Goa per fare la cosa pulita, dovrebbe arrivare in albergo col taxi.
Tu stai con la polizia, entiende? Perché se no non va bien con questa operazione.
Y si el señor ya sospecha algo, señor, y me hace algo a mí sola y...
Ora io vengo, otra gente sta che ti spera. E là davanti ci sta il collega con la maglia azzurra e dentro ci stanno gli altri due del Goa. Tu devi rimanere in macchina nascosto. Tu prosegui dopo che l'hai lasciato a lei.
Certo. Fatta un'altra dopo un po' di tempo per constatare realmente se aveva la valigia con sé, la roba dentro, se era tutto a posto, se mancava qualcosa. Però la sera stessa non sono venuti, non si sono presentati in albergo. A tarda notte l'hanno comunicata che sarebbero arrivati l'indomani, ma non si sono più presentati e quindi si è deciso di chiudere l'operazione.
It was a no-show from the drug cartel over a period of 2 nights. They had been alerted, somehow, by someone.
Lei è stata accompagnata all'ufficio per la verbalizzazione, fare il fotosegnalamento e successivamente la traduzione nel carcere di Rebibbia.
She's going to a woman's prison, accused of smuggling 10 kilos of cocaine into...
On January 25th, something unusual happened at Chennai Airport. A passenger from Dubai stepped off EK 544, blending in with the crowd. But customs officers were watching. As he passed, they made their move, searching him thoroughly. What they found was astonishing: 1,340 grams of gold, worth a staggering 66 lakh and 82,000 rupees hidden on him. And that is about $89,093.33. This wasn't just a small mistake. It was a serious smuggling attempt. The man was immediately arrested, and the investigation took a dramatic turn. On October 23, 2022, something unusual happened at the airport. Customs officers opened a passenger's bag and found 5 strange, furry creatures hidden inside. These weren't just any animals. To their surprise, they were rare dwarf and common spotted cuscus. The passenger had flown in from Bangkok, and the discovery left everyone stunned. As the authorities investigated, the animals were sent back to Thailand. The mystery deepened as the passenger was taken into custody. What was he planning to do with these rare creatures? The airport officials were buzzed with curiosity and speculation, leaving one to be wondering what it could have been needed for. What seemed like a routine landing turned into an unexpected twist. Imagine stepping off a flight from Colombo, thinking you're just another passenger blending in. But then, AIU officers close in on one lady. What did they know? With careful eyes, they search her belongings. The tension builds as they examine her slippers. There, hidden beneath the soles, lie 14 gold-cut bits, meticulously concealed. Each piece gleams as it's uncovered, revealing a stash weighing 393 grams. This isn't just any gold, it's worth a staggering 18,84,000 rupees. That's $22,683.36. The officers seized it, marking another successful bust under the Customs Act of 1962. At Chennai Airport, something unusual was discovered. Customs officers received a parcel from Poland at the Foreign Post Office. When they opened it, they couldn't believe their eyes. Inside were 107 live tarantulas, carefully packed. These weren't just any spiders, they were rare, listed under CITES. CITES is an agreement between countries to protect endangered plants and animals from being harmed by international trade. For these reasons, the officers quickly seized them under the Customs Act. Imagine the scene: officers peering into a box full of wriggling tarantulas, their legs moving, each one a rare specimen. And that led to the question, what were these exotic creatures doing here? And who was behind this daring attempt to smuggle them into the country? Video footage from an airport in England captures when officers grow suspicious of a passenger's behavior. The man's obvious nervousness prompts a female officer to approach him and ask several probing questions.
And from here you're going back to Holland, are you? When are you going back to Holland? Is it a flight from here or a flight from Heathrow?
She asks him if he is carrying any illegal substances in his luggage.
No cigarettes at all, nothing like that. Okay, you also know it's illegal to bring any controlled drugs, weapons, explosives, etc. into the country, yeah? And these are your bags, are they? Did you pack your bags yourself? So you know what's...
The officer then takes his bags to be scanned for drugs or weapons, but the X-ray shows no hidden contraband. Still, she isn't convinced.
Sometimes we have a problem with people bringing drugs through on their bodies, okay? So therefore we just want to give you a rub down of your body, okay? But we won't do it here.
The man is taken for a full body scan to check if he might be hiding drugs on himself. The officer waits to see if her instincts are correct.
The other way, sorry. Yeah, if you stand like this, that way. Yeah?
Yeah.
Go up onto the top, onto travelator. If you can breathe in as well, that'll help us.
Ready breathing?
Sure enough, the scan reveals multiple packages of what appear to be drugs concealed inside his body. The man is promptly arrested for drug smuggling.
You do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention one question, something that you later rely on in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence. Do you understand that?
The packages are removed and identified as cocaine, confirming the officer's initial suspicion.
A little bit for the packaging, etc. It's probably about 300 grams. 1 kilo nowadays is worth around £50,000. So he's probably...
The Federal Police's K9 unit was on a mission to track down narcotics at a well-known postal station inside Sao Paulo Airport. Their primary focus was inspecting packages bound for Europe, Africa, and the Middle East.
El perro identifica algún olor.
Cuando la Policía Federal empieza a buscar con mucha insistencia en la terminal de cargas, busca grandes cargas.
The officers brought in their trained sniffer dog and allowed it to search the packages. The dog quickly picked up the scent of drugs, prompting the police to zero in on a particular package. As they unwrapped it, they noticed a strange odor. Upon opening it further, they discovered traces of a controlled substance hidden inside.
Cree que estarán probando la ruta para ver si mandando una pequeña cantidad.
A career criminal who had been charged with murder less than a month earlier was sentenced to 22 years in prison after a brutal attack that left a woman permanently blinded in her right eye. The attack occurred at the Howard Beach JFK Airport Station on September 20th, 2022.
To everyone that never gave up on me or my case,
The assailant, 44-year-old Wahid Foster, still faces charges in the Bronx for allegedly strangling his girlfriend to death on August 6, 2022, for which he was charged in April of last year. Foster has a long history of violent offenses, dating back to his teenage years, including an incident where he beat his 82-year-old grandmother over money at the age of 14. In 2010, he also stabbed a woman in the face while at a mental institution. Due to the trauma from the assault at the subway station, the recent victim couldn't bring herself to face Foster in court. In a written statement, she expressed how the experience had caused immense emotional pain and memories she's struggling to forget. Foster remains held at Rikers Island without bail for the murder case and is scheduled to appear in court again on July 24th.
I try to overcome all the negative comments and try to be strong, especially for me and my children and the other women out there. Thank you very much.
While questioning a foreigner, Australian border security officers ended up intercepting $15.9 million worth of drugs. Come to sell machine parts in the country, but she barely knew about the machine in her possession, so the officers probed her more, since she sounded suspicious.
If he picks up any scent of narcotics, it's a positive response.
In a surprising event that made headlines, customs officers found a young boy hidden inside a leather suitcase at a Spanish airport. The suitcase belonged to a nervous 19-year-old woman who approached the customs checkpoint in Ceuta, a Spanish area in North Africa. During a routine scan, the officers noticed a strange shape inside the suitcase that looked like a person. Their suspicions grew, and they quickly opened the bag to find an 8-year-old boy named Abu carefully packed inside. He was from Ivory Coast and appeared upset, but surprisingly healthy. Abu's father, eager to be with his son, had paid the woman to smuggle him into Spain to escape the difficult life in their home country. After the boy was discovered, his father, who was waiting anxiously at the border, was arrested.
They found that he was in a terrible state. He was carried by a 19-year-old woman who reportedly got paid to smuggle him. The boy's father, who lived...
Back in Nigeria, 2 elderly suspects were caught at Lagos Airport after they passed a total of 150 wraps of cocaine. Officers from the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency arrested the passengers as they were about to board a Qatar Airways flight to Doha at Terminal 2 of Murtala Mohammed International Airport on Friday, June 21st.
41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55.
NDLEA spokesman Femi Baba Femi shared the news that one of the suspects, identified as Ikomun Daniel, excreted 90 wraps of cocaine, weighing about 1.022 kilos, over 6 times. Meanwhile, the second Ayigoro Wahid Omobolaji passed 60 wraps of the same drug, weighing 662 grams, in 5 separate instances. Further investigation revealed that Ikomun Daniel had stolen the identity of his deceased uncle, who once lived in Germany. He did this to obtain a Schengen visa, hoping it would give him easy European access. At the same time, his real name is Oladapo Olanrewaju. At Lagos Airport, the NDLEA has seized cocaine hidden inside T-shirts. On December 18th at Chennai Airport, a sniffer dog named Oreo detected drugs in the checked baggage of a Ugandan passenger. This led to the recovery of 1,542 grams of methaqualone and 644 grams of heroin, with a total value of 5.35 crores. A man was caught trying to smuggle $210,000 worth of cocaine. When customs officers looked inside his bag, they noticed a white, powdery substance. Given that it came from Colombia, it was highly likely that it was cocaine. The passenger's story about how he got the bag raised even more suspicions. He claimed he picked it up in Colombia after his other bag fell apart. While officials inspected the case further, the passenger made an unusual request to call his wife.
The passenger has an unusual request.
Your wife? Okay. He wants to contact his wife.
He seemed anxious, but he wouldn't be making calls anytime soon. The officers suspected he was involved in drug trafficking, so they took him to a private room for questioning. While talking to him, they received concerning information that he may not have traveled alone. He and another passenger, who shared his last name and had similar travel routes, had arrived from Colombia. Officers decided to search the second passenger's bag to see if she was hiding drugs too. When questioned, she mentioned she had 3 children. Still, she left them at home because her mother was very sick and needed dialysis. As the female passenger was being questioned, officers took a sample from the lining of the male passenger's suitcase to test for illegal substances. Surprisingly, the initial test returned negative, but they wanted to check further.
Yeah, what's going on? Any associated trouble?
It appears the passenger may not have been traveling alone, and his companion has...
They drilled a small hole into the suitcase and discovered a thick, wet paste at the bottom, which they believed was illegal. This paste was carefully concealed in plastic. Using special technology, they tested the substance while also X-raying the woman's suitcase to check for hidden drugs. Her bag appeared to be clear, which was good news for her. However, the male passenger was not so fortunate. The tests confirmed that the substance in his suitcase was cocaine.
It's taken from the lining of the male passenger's suitcase. The test will reveal if there are any traces of illicit substances.
The Australian Federal Police were called in to take over the investigation. While examining the female passenger's suitcase, officers noticed the female passenger had bottles of liquid that looked similar to the paste in his bag. The paste was not a powder, it was a gel-like substance. After a thorough investigation, officers confirmed that the female passenger was not involved in any drug smuggling and was free to leave. The male passenger's suitcase containing the cocaine was confiscated, and he was taken into custody by the authorities.
First offender laser technology should give a highly accurate reading of what the substance is.
All right, see if it comes up.
And while...
In another NDLEA bust, the law enforcers seized illicit drugs packed in air fresheners, 2 pairs of slippers, and a traveling bag. On December 12, 2022, TSA agents flagged a Goyard handbag during an X-ray screening at the airport, revealing 3 items resembling firearms. The bag belonged to the lead actor of BMF, known as Little Meech, who was preparing to board a flight to Detroit.
Firearm, magazine, or possible statement under that. You want me to bring it to the side?
No, you can leave it in there.
During the investigation process, TSA agents would also discover ammunition alongside an illegal substance residue located in a Goyard handbag.
Respond to the checkpoint reference to an item firearms at lane number 2 Delta checkpoint and advise the Delta unit. Because that looks like there's firearms in it.
Sir, listen, I swear to God, I'm not putting that bag. That's my little brother's bag. Sir, listen, I swear to God, sir.
I know, but
Sir,
unfortunately, there's certain procedures we have to follow anytime something comes in that's prohibited, correct?
Right. So listen,
You
sir.
understand that, correct?
Can you please give me
Do you
a
have your
chance?
ID on you?
Sir, my ID's in my bag.
In the bag?
Yes, sir, listen, I'm a minor, sir. I have security guards. They left that in my bag, sir. I did not pack my bag.
Well, we can get that all straightened out after the fact, okay?
Thank you.
But until then, I have to put you in handcuffs until we figure this out.
Okay.
Okay, you understand that?
Can I call my mom or somebody?
We'll do that after.
Okay.
All right, just turn around for me, be cooperative. Everything's on video and audio surveillance. Plus, I'm on body cam. You understand that?
Sure, yes, I understand.
Okay. This is just for your safety and everybody else around you because there's guns involved, okay, or possible guns. We have to confirm it. Okay, X-ray doesn't tell us 100%, okay? It just says there's a possibility, and that's what it appears to be. You understand? Do you have anything else on you at this point?
No, sir, I promise I don't.
Okay.
Just actor, sir.
No, I understand.
Man.
Do you have a concealed weapons permit or anything like that?
I don't, sir. They left that in my bag. My little brother's.
The actor was eventually arrested and charged for carrying a concealed firearm, but the charges were eventually dropped.
All black one?
No. The oldest looking car here.
Are y'all putting me in the old one?
Yeah, unfortunately my car broke down, so this is the one we got right now.
It's got more room than my car.
The Nigerian NDLEA arrested a 50-year-old man at Enugu Airport after they discovered that he had ingested about 90 wraps of illegal substance.
We're going to apply E1. We are testing for cocaine. This E1 and this E2. That's tested positive for cocaine.
It takes a serious level of stupid to carry this much contraband inside yourself. It was total chaos at Miami International Airport when a fight broke out.
This woman, off on a short trip to Vietnam, caught the eye of Australian border officers. Apparently, she lives on a pension but is traveling in style. She claims her boyfriend in Vietnam helped pay for it. Suspicious, right?
Now, this woman afforded a 6-week trip to Asia when she lives on the pension and has very little money.
You pay for your holiday?
She claims her holiday was partly funded by her boyfriend, who lives in Vietnam.
They decide to search her for drugs. They find something odd, a large stash of seafood. But wait, there's a twist. The fish is rotten and crawling with maggots. Yet the system flags her luggage for cocaine.
It's not frozen. Yeah. It's raw. It's raw.
She insists it's just for a Vietnamese restaurant. tests prove she's clean, but the officers seize the disgusting fish, leaving her travel plans in limbo.
So everything it's contaminated, so everything will have to be... Yep. Okay, so because of the live infestation in the suitcase...
The immigration officer sifted through luggage, their eyes narrowing at one particular suitcase. The scanner showed food items, but something didn't add up. They opened it cautiously, revealing dried fish and paste as declared. But the officers sensed there was more.
What do you got?
A box coming through from Thailand. You got 3 different types of things here. Really dense items here, and then something sort of really bitty just all over the place, and then like a really light texture here.
As they dug deeper, a strong odor hit the raw tobacco, a high-risk substance that could harm Australia's environment. They continued their search, unearthing live insects, crawling spiders, and, unexpectedly, frogs.
This tobacco smell is what really got up my nose. Yeah. There's a lot more of this here, isn't there?
Yep. More again. And then even more.
Yeah, these smell like tobacco.
Not ordinary frogs, but ones with strange fungi on their skin. The sight left the officers stunned. They had never encountered anything like this before, and the luggage was promptly seized for further investigation.
All of these items will be destroyed today, because having these enter our ecosystem is not something that you would want.
And these were going to come into the country like that and to be ingested by people here. That's terrible.
Alerted by a suspicious luggage set to leave Sydney, immigration officials felt a chill run down their spines. Inside, something was moving, coiled and scaly. Could it be a snake?
Whoa, that's pretty interesting.
Looks like an animal.
Yeah.
They're declared as company records and book. It's clearly not paperwork.
Looks like a lizard with a stumpy tail.
As they opened the bags, the truth emerged bit by bit. 9 rare shingleback lizards, alive but smuggled. Officer Justin and his partner, eyes wide, carefully retrieved each one. These precious reptiles, prized on the black market, were saved just in time. But the rescue was only the beginning.
Shingleback. It's actually a really stunning lizard, an Aussie native.
To catch the culprits, the team planned to let the luggage pass, tracing every fingerprint linked to it. The danger is higher because the authorities are worried the animals might not survive. They were taken from the wild and are not being cared for properly. Actually, shinglebacks are a monogamous species, so if one is taken away, its partner is left alone without a mate. A fisherman stands nervously at the airport desks, sweat dripping as officials question him. They inspect his equipment, asking about the contents of various containers. Beneath his luggage, an officer finds something shocking. A packet of 150 grams of live worms.
Holiday visit my son.
And you're going to go fishing while you're here?
I'm with my son just for fishing.
These aren't just any worms. They're a high biosecurity risk. The fisherman had signed a document declaring he had no animals with him. He pleads ignorance, but it's too late.
To Australia, I don't know.
You were actually asked a question, do you have any animals, parts of animals, animal products including equipment, birds, fish, insects?
Oh.
This mistake could cost him dearly. The officials sternly explained the rules he broke. Finally, the verdict, a $340 fine. The fisherman, realizing the gravity of his oversight, accepts his fate.
Do you understand that overseas passengers do not know what is serious? That is why we ask you to declare everything on the card to allow us to make that assessment.
On September 15th, 2019, a Twitter user shared this video of a 5-month-old baby found in a bag in Dubai airport. After investigation, it was discovered that the baby had been kidnapped from Pakistan. Fortunately, law enforcers were able to locate the parents, and the child was safely returned to them. Indian customs officers stationed at the Delhi airport might have just found the weirdest way to smuggle contraband. The airport might have just found the weirdest way to smuggle contraband. I know that looks strange, but wait till you see what they find. They were able to seize gold worth around 3 million Indian rupees from this dude's head. This child's parents let him out of sight for a moment, and this happened. Little dude doesn't even know how cool he is for this.
It seemed like a regular morning at Los Angeles International Airport, until officers made a shocking discovery hidden in plain sight. A traveler casually tried to go through security while carrying candy bags, but what looked like harmless snacks were much more dangerous. Inside wrappers for Skittles, Whoppers, and Sweethearts were 12,000 fentanyl pills, one of the most potent synthetic opioids. The suspect quickly ran away before being caught, but authorities have identified the individual, and an investigation is underway.
The suspect tried to go through TSA screening with several bags of candy and snacks. The suspect got away before authorities could actually make an arrest.
At a Colombian airport, a woman on her way to Madrid, Spain, was stopped after airport security scanners detected suspicious objects hidden in her hairstyle. Authorities decided to detain her for a more detailed inspection.
Police say when both women went through airport security, scanners showed foreign objects hidden in their big hairstyles.
Security officers discovered a vial concealed in her hair extensions during the search. When they opened it and tested the contents, they found it contained cocaine.
When airport security officers discovered a vial hidden in the suspect's hair extensions. Its contents were tested on the spot, and police say it was determined to be cocaine.
Upon further inspection, more vials of the same substance were uncovered, all hidden within her hair.
When further searching revealed more tubes strategically attached to the woman's head. Colombian police say
this was far from a coincidence. At another Colombian airport, a second woman was caught smuggling the same type of drugs, using the same method, and also headed to Madrid, Spain, around the same time as the first. Both women, traveling to the same destination, were found carrying nearly 2 kilos of cocaine in total.
women tried the same stunt at 2 different airports in the country and were both 2 kilos of cocaine from the women, who were both bound for Madrid.
At Gatwick Airport, a U.S. border agent grew suspicious of an elderly woman after noticing something unusual. She had changed her clothes right after passing through immigration, which raised a red flag. When questioned, the woman offered a weak excuse, saying she had just completed a long journey and wanted to change out of her wet clothes.
George carries out a routine search of the woman's bags.
The officer also noticed that she had taken her personal holder with her when she went to change, which is often used to hide items. He decided to scan the holder and its contents while also searching her suitcase. The scan revealed that her laptop seemed suspicious, as it didn't appear stable on the X-ray, unlike a normal laptop. This prompted further investigation of the device.
It looks like their hunch was right.
Their instincts proved correct. Behind the laptop screen, they found a hidden package that tested positive for cocaine.
What type of drug it is.
The reagent will turn blue if the substance is cocaine.
The woman remained surprisingly calm when confronted with the discovery. However, as she was being escorted away, her behavior became unsettling. She swore at the camera twice and even let out an eerie laugh.
In here. Just listen to me. Let us know if you need anything else.
Would you like to see the part of the block with the film, right? You want to see that?
The drugs weighed approximately 530 grams. It seemed whoever concealed the cocaine in the laptop had gone to some lengths to outsmart security. A 25-year-old British model was stopped by authorities at Jorge Chavez International Airport when he tried to board a flight with nearly 3 kilograms of cocaine hidden in his suitcase. The drugs were reportedly meant to be transported to London.
Se va a proceder con el deslacrado temporal y la apertura del equipaje de bodega.
During the search, officers discovered bags of cocaine concealed beneath Adam's suitcase. His expression showed clear surprise, as if he had no idea about the hidden drugs. One might even think someone had set him up.
Como podemos observar, tiene 2 kilos 933.
Following the discovery, Adam was arrested and charged with drug smuggling. He later admitted to the crime in court and was sentenced to 6 years and 8 months in prison.
Se va a hacer el registro corporal, ¿ya? Se puede poner de pie. Sáquense anillos, collares, correa. Aquí.
This footage was captured by hidden cameras at Minneapolis-St. Paul Airport, installed after passengers reported stolen belongings.
It's a little funny, but you're looking at video recorded by cameras secretly installed at the Minneapolis-St. Paul Airport. They were put in place after passengers reported items missing from their luggage. Prosecutors say the man in the video stole thousands of dollars in guns and other goods. 23-year-old David Vang is a worker at the airport. Court papers said the video showed Vang removing items from luggage, then taking them to a parking ramp where his wife had a vehicle. Investigators say Vang initially claimed the weapons fell out of the luggage, but later admitted stealing them. They say Vang had over 700 stolen items in his apartment, valued at $84,000. He now faces 11 felony charges. Vang's wife, Zhang, faces 1 charge. Matt Friedman.
23-year-old airport worker David Vang was caught on camera taking items from luggage to a parking ramp while his wife waited in a vehicle. Investigators found over 700 stolen items worth $84,000 in his home. Vang faces 11 felony charges, and his wife faces 1 charge. In this video, a cop questions a man about the weapon-like object that he had, but the man kept on insisting that it was not a weapon, and just when another cop came around, the man got agitated and tried running away.
We got a call for that.
Am I using it? It's no blood. It's a treasure. You can look at it. It's not a weapon, sir.
So I can look at it?
It's not a weapon, sir. It's not a weapon. It's not a weapon, sir. It's not a weapon. It's not a weapon. It's clean.
Clean, but it's good.
It's clean. I'm not holding it or anything.
I know.
We are allowed to open carry.
Not in the airport.
I'm not on the airplane, sir.
Not in the airport.
Okay. Excuse me. Excuse me.
What?
Excuse me.
You got another knife on you.
Excuse me.
Turn around.
Excuse me.
Turn around.
Excuse me. Watch out. Watch out. You watch out. Watch out.
After warning the man several times, an officer shot a taser at the man, but it did not seem to have an effect on the suspect, who continued running.
Get on the ground right now. Get on the ground. Get on the ground. Get on the ground.
Watch out. Watch out.
Grab your knife. I tried once, it didn't work.
Kill me.
It's not even gonna work. Drop it.
Stop it, please.
Drop it.
Stop it.
Drop it. Drop it. Get him. Son of a bitch.
The man was eventually arrested and taken into custody.
Get him. Got it, Brody? Get it, boy. You got it? You got one? Got one?
I'm not resisting.
Grab your hand.
I'm not resisting. I'm not resisting. They're trying to take me into a dog. They're trying to take me into a dog. They're trying to take me to a dog.
A man was caught on camera going through people's luggage to select clothes, and there was no guard nearby to stop him.
I have never in my life seen that like this. This man is going through people's luggage. He done went to 1, 2, 3, 4. He on his fourth bag. This is ridiculous. Oh my God. I had to record this. This man, look at this. This man is going through people's clothes and putting them on in the airport. Where did they do this at?
In this incident, for 12 days, the NDLEA was on a mission. They moved quietly, piecing together clues. At the Murtala Muhammad International Airport, their patience paid off. A massive heroin shipment was seized, the largest ever. But that wasn't all. The operation uncovered 107 bank accounts and millions in frozen assets, cutting deep into the syndicate's resources. The trail led to luxurious mansions, one in Nigeria, another in Mozambique, both linked to powerful leaders of the cartel. These places, once symbols of untouchable wealth, are now marked for government seizure. The syndicate's downfall had begun, and the NDLEA was just getting started. On August 20th, 2023, at Nagpur Airport, India, the Directorate of Revenue Intelligence, DRI, made a significant bust. An Indian passenger arriving from Nairobi via Sharjah was stopped. Hidden inside a hollow metal roller, officers found 3.07 kilogram of amphetamine, worth over Rs 24 crore. The drug, concealed in a rectangular carton, was quickly seized. The passenger was arrested on the spot. The next day, DRI tracked down and arrested the intended recipient, a Nigerian national in West Delhi. This bust at a smaller airport like Nagpur shows how drug syndicates are constantly evolving. On February 24th, a routine day at Mumbai Airport took a dramatic turn. Customs officers on high alert began their inspections. One bag stood out, its weight suspicious. Carefully, they peeled back the inner lining. Hidden within was a stash of gold. In total, 1.76 kilos worth nearly a crore was found, smuggled in 5 separate cases. The gold was ingeniously hidden in luggage linings, clothing, and even sandals. Both foreign and Indian nationals were involved. What seemed like an ordinary day quickly escalated into a major bust, leaving everyone stunned by the elaborate smuggling attempt. At the airport, an unsuspecting passenger stepped off a flight from Ras Al Khaimah on October 16, 2023. Little did he know, officials had their eyes on him. Through careful profiling, they intercepted him and discovered a shocking secret hidden in his pants. What looked like an ordinary pair of trousers concealed 175 grams of gold dust. The precious metal, worth a staggering 10,82,000 rupees, was expertly hidden but ultimately seized by alert customs officers. The passengers' clever ruse had failed, leading to a dramatic and surprising find.